Hey y'all, welcome to the Memoirs of a Sinner, a personal growth podcast by Her Kinkz. In Numbers chapter 21, the Israelites are frustrated with both God and Moses because they are sick and tired of being in the wilderness and they hate the food. Remind you, they were just slaves, and now that they are free, they have the nerve to be ungrateful. Now, I'm not going to lie. I've been there, thinking that because God delivered me from one place, I should immediately hear the birds chirping and feel the sun beating down my face. But instead, I'm walking around in circles screaming, God, what are you doing? So God punishes the Israelites for being ungrateful, and the punishment was getting bitten by poisonous snakes. Some of them even died from it. It is at that moment that the Israelites began crying out and asking for forgiveness so God could take the snakes away. God then tells Moses to make a replica of a poisonous snake and attach it to a pole, and everybody that looked at the pole would be healed from the poison. It was their faith in something completely beyond themselves that cured them. What God leads us to focus on is not what actually caused our pain, but gazing upon what will actually bring us the healing we need. In today's day and age, our disobedience is what causes most of the pain we are experiencing. But in John chapter 3, verses 14 and 15, Jesus tells a religious leader named Nicodemus that the same way Moses lifted up the bronze snake on a pole in the wilderness, he must be lifted up so that everyone who believes in him would have eternal life. Our salvation, which is being saved from the harm we are experiencing, comes by nothing other than having faith in Jesus and keeping our eyes on him. Paul was bit by a snake and was able to shake it off because of the spirit that was working in him in Acts 28. In verse 4, it says the people expected him to swell up or drop dead from the bite, but when they saw how it didn't affect him, they started to think he was a god. He wasn't an actual god, but God's presence in him had what would easily cause harm to others give him a different result. I've experienced quite a bit of painful, traumatic stuff. I'm sure we all have. Some of which I've been able to recover from faster than normal. Others, I'm still in a bit of a tug of war about. There are things that God will intentionally leave us to struggle with because it keeps us humble, just like Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 12. The same antidote that will be used to heal us, which is keeping our eyes on God, is what will actually bring us comfort in the areas of our greatest struggle. There is no way I should have recovered from a lot of stuff. Some things should have completely took me out. Most situations I put myself in because I was foolish enough to not consider all of the consequences. Nonetheless, just like when sin first entered the world, God already had a solution to the problem. He told the serpent in Genesis 3 that there will always be hostility between a snake and a woman, and between its offspring and our offspring. We will strike their head and they will strike our heel, because the most a snake will ever be able to do is reach the heel of our foot, since they are beneath us. In Mark chapter 16, it tells us that we will be able to handle snakes with safety, and if we drink anything poisonous, it wouldn't hurt us. Luke 10 tells us that we have been given authority over all the power of the enemy, and we can walk among snakes and scorpions and crush them. Nothing will injure us. Joshua told his military commanders in chapter 10 to put their foot on the neck of all 5 kings. He told them not to be afraid or discouraged, but to be strong and courageous, because God would do this very thing to every enemy they fought. The enemy of Christ is an enemy of ours. It was Peter who said that God the Father resurrected Jesus and exalted him to the place of highest honor at his right hand. The Father himself told his Son to sit at his right hand until he made his enemies his footstool. I love you all in real life. If you you'd like to stay connected, you can follow me on Instagram at the Insta About Her, THEINSTAABOUTHER, and make sure you subscribe and leave a review.